Hello there everyone, welcome back to Geeking Out. I'm yours truly, the Nate Myster, here for another Geeking Out video. And today, I'm going to be talking about some of the geek news that's coming out these past few weeks. Some of the stuff that's really been pissing me off, or just making me freaking glad to be a freaking geek today, you know? Like, yes, I am enjoying this news. But before we start our discussions, let me explain to you guys that the winner of this giveaway, this month's giveaway, won't be announced till the next video coming up. It's going to be another unboxing for you guys. And for those of you who are just joining in, the link's down below if you want to check out the video for the unboxing / giveaway. Alright everyone, let's start off with the Hamills, Scarlett Johansson. Oh my god, yes. And they're pretty much working on the brand new Black Widow movie. Yes, I've been wanting a Black Widow movie ever since they sort of announced it or tweeted it or they hinted on a Black Widow movie origin story-ish for the first phase of the Avengers series. Unfortunately, Marvel canned that idea because they were going off to different directions with the Guardians of the Galaxy and with bigger villains, so there was no point to bring in Black Widow, unfortunately. Which, I'm kind of debating about what's going on with this Black Widow film. I don't even know if it's going to be an origin story. But I will love it. I love it. Detailing the story of how Black Widow came to be and also meeting up with Hawkeye. And crossing our fingers, they can also bring in Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan to come in as Winter Soldier and pretty much following that mission of Black Widow explaining to Captain America what happened when she first met up with Winter Soldier, you know? And that would be a cool little story right there they can work off. And that could probably be the big mission that happens in the movie, you know? Her running away from Winter Soldier. Kind of like Terminator / feel for it. Yeah, but I would love it if they bring in Hawkeye and Black Widow and tell that mission that Black Widow mentioned in the first Avenger movie. This whole fight felt like Budapest again. I would love it if they could bring that moment to life to see like what happened there. Like why was it so similar to what was going on right now with all these freaking aliens everywhere. Yes, but that's some great news about Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson. But unfortunately, there's this new movie coming out called The Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence, starring Jennifer Lawrence, and it pretty much has this sort of similar feel to the origin story of Black Widow when she told her story in Avengers 2 about what happened, like how she came to be. The Red Sparrow film follows a true story, true events that occurred with the Russian spies, KGB agents. True story, like when I first saw Jennifer Lawrence Red Sparrow trailer, I was like, oh wow, that's pretty much Black Widow there. Like this is the Black Widow origin story. Yes, that's how I felt, like most fans did. Like I went through all the comments and a lot of people felt that way, despite the fact that it's based on a true story. So pretty much the Red Sparrow director came out and started to explain himself. So the Red Sparrow director, Francis Lawrence, explains, there's people who think it's very similar to Black Widow's story. This is not pulled from BW, this is pulled from Red Sparrow, you know? It's just like written by a guy who was in the CIA. It's like his references are coming from a very, very different place from that. But there will always be that people like to put things in a box, and I think it's really unique film. This is a thriller. It's not action. Again, it's not gadgety. It's a hard R. And yes, I do understand where the director's coming from, but then again, there's people out there like me who felt that it was a origin story of Black Widow. It freaking had that feel for it, unfortunately. These days, you know, because there's so many ideas, so many films coming out, so many stories, there's nothing really original these days. But if you splice it, if you take the idea and then make it your own, and you don't copy and paste it every freaking where, it still looks like a fun film, and I hope it does well in theaters. I would definitely like to see it. Alright, the next news gonna be hitting up is Shazam the movie. From DC Comics. I'm not too mad, but yet I'm not really a big fan of the news right now from what I'm hearing from this film. So the director of the upcoming Shazam movie, David Sandberg, just stated that the film won't carry that many jokes. And I'm here like, do you know who Shazam is? So the superhero Shazam is pretty much the demigod alter ego of Billy Batson, who transforms into Shazam. Billy Batson is pretty much a kid at heart. And one of the abilities of Billy Batson, once he transforms into the Shazam after screaming Shazam, he has the wisdom of Solomon, of course. So it does not mean that he automatically becomes a freaking adult when he becomes Shazam, mind-wise. So it's funny when you see in the comics and the shows that this demigod, this powerful demigod that almost has the likeness of Superman, has this heart of a kid, pretty much. He's a kid at heart. So he starts, flirting with Wonder Woman as a kid, saying one-liners, making these practical jokes, and then you have this director who comes in and says these jokes won't be a part of this film. I think it's very funny, but the humor comes from the situations rather than quippy one-liners. The important thing for me is to mix the funny with a threat that's serious and to also have dramatic moments. All funny all the time takes the weight out of it. Okay, I do understand that he's making a reference to what Marvel's doing with their jokes and one-liners, but that's Marvel. But the thing is, that's what Shazam does. He is the man with the one-liners, man. Because he's a freaking kid. I'm getting tired of freaking DC changing up their characters like this. We know these characters, and why you gotta freaking retcon them in the film? I'm not really a big fan of this. Come on, you guys got freaking Zachary Levi to play as Shazam. Do you guys understand that? He is a freaking kid, man. I love Zachary, man. Chuck, you got Chuck. Come on, take advantage of that you got Chuck in your freaking film as Shazam. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe this director knows what he's doing. Alright, well, let's end things with some big news about my least favorite, my most hated film, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson, he got a little pissy. He got pissed. I'll tell you that much. He got really pissed off over the fans out there complaining about Star Wars The Last Jedi. So he started pointing out a few things, explaining some points that happened in the movie. Okay. I enjoy that. Yeah, I enjoy you explaining a few things. I want you to explain one thing. I'm hoping you explain this. Why did we get an 18-hour chase scene? Can you explain that? Explain to me that. That's what pisses me off. Before I start screaming, let's get right into what's going on. So far, The Last Jedi is not doing so well in the Chinese markets, in the Chinese theaters. Recently just got pulled out, right? Fortunately, from what I've heard from China, one, the film insulted the audience intelligence. Let's not forget the toy sales that have been dropping since The Last Jedi. Yeah, them porgs not selling too well, are they, Rian Johnson? So Rian Johnson recently started trying to explain himself by, tweeting out different explanations about what's going on with his own movie. And I'm here like...
You serious?
Just own up to the fact that half of the Star Wars community loathes your film. Just accept that and then move on and work on your other trilogies. So I'm hoping that one of these days I see that Disney has seen the light, right? And they take the reins off from Rian Johnson from this brand new trilogy. Because I really don't want him to work on the brand new trilogy. Like, the Chinese really think that their intelligence was insulted. My intelligence was insulted. Common sense wise, most of this film should have never happened. Like the 80-hour chase scene, the whole freaking why didn't the Empire or the New Order take them out in the freaking first place? You didn't need to freaking chase them. You could have destroyed him like this. Oh yeah, Rian Johnson. I can't wait till you explain this on Twitter. How the flippin' hell does one battle cruiser on light speed suicide hyperspace take out not one big wing from a Star Destroyer, but 300 Star Destroyers behind it? How does that work? So anyway, Rian Johnson recently started posting on his Twitter explaining the powers of Luke Skywalker, like how they worked out in The Last Jedi. And I didn't even have no problem with that, but let's just look at the pictures right here. So Rian Johnson on his Twitter starts showing off some of the books, and he pretty much focuses on the Jedi path. And he opens the book and he heads over to Advanced Force Techniques, the Doppelganger, which permits a Jedi to create a short-lived duplicate of himself or herself. And yes, I understand that, Rian Johnson. But what I don't understand is that was your big hoorah. That was the big main power that Luke was going to use before he passed on to the next freaking realm. Huh? You had them on perfect opportunity to show off Luke's 100% power against all those AT-ATs in front of him.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Force push the AT-ATs down! And then Rian Johnson started explaining other tweets of his purpose as to why Luke had to die at the end. So pretty much, Jake Skywalker, all he's gonna do in episode 9 is train frickin' Rey, and she's gonna pick it up like this, like a frickin' sponge, because she's overpowered as hell. And they're probably gonna bring in the Knights of Ren, and they're gonna die like this, because they're nothing compared to Rey. Because if they're anything as powerful as Kylo, then you had no freaking chance. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below about what's going on in the news. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the discussion of what's been happening in the geek news so far. And the articles are from CosmicBookNews.com, and they're a legitimate source for all my geekdom, my fandoms I do enjoy. So, guys, check them out. They're pretty good. And you guys want to check out my last videos, they're down below. Check them out. One of them is the unboxing of the Kylo Ren pop figure, the collector edition from Target exclusives, and also my review of The Last freaking Jedi. And if you guys want to see how I felt about the film, you guys just joining in, you want to check it out, go ahead. Anyway, guys, humble yourselves, and thank you for checking out Geeking Out, and I'm yours truly, Myster, and hasta la vista.